after all of this, why is your government still calling Israel a friend and an ally? Well, can you tell me if you know that any Australians who are serving in the IDF, because we do have information that I think there were documents released stating 621 Australians were serving in the IDF. Has your government made any investigations into whether Australian citizens currently serving in the Israeli military were involved in the abuse, assault, or mistreatment of Australian humanitarians who were on the Global Sumud Flotilla, who were illegally detained and kidnapped and assaulted? Have you made any investigations into that?
Senator Fiona Webster, I'm the Acting Deputy Secretary of International Security, Legal and Consular Group. So all I can say is the government's position in terms of Australian citizens with the Israeli Defence Force is that the government encourages all Australians who seek to serve with the armed forces of a foreign country to carefully consider their legal obligations and ensure that their conduct does not constitute a criminal offence. That is a matter for the Attorney-General's Department in terms of the legality of Australians serving with the IDF.
Minister, the 11 Australians who were trying to deliver food and aid and medicine to starving people in Gaza, as you know, were treated horrifically. And we know from UN reports that Israel has a pattern of sexually abusing and assaulting Palestinians as well. And of course, there's the genocide that has been going on for almost 3 years. Could I ask you, after all of this, why is your government still calling Israel a friend and an ally?
Well, actually, I don't use the word ally. It's not. You use that.
You don't use that?
Yeah, no, I don't use that word. Because,
so the government does not consider Israel an ally?
Why are you shouting at me?
I'm not shouting at you at all.
Why are you raising your voice at me?
Why can't you answer the question, Minister, rather than just accusing me of things that I'm not doing?
Just let the Minister respond.
Is Israel a friend and an ally of Australia?
Senator, can I... the point I'm making, Senator, is that is something you say when you try to, unfortunately, foment more anger on this issue and more division in Australian society. That is not a phrase I use because we don't have an alliance. We have alliance partners.
Well, sorry,
Senator,
but your government has called Israel a friend and an ally. Because, excuse me, I'm here asking you questions.
Yeah, and I'm entitled to answer.
All right, Senator.
And we have answered.
You don't want the answer, do you?
I think you did answer, and I'm questioning that answer.
You just want to get angry at me.
Oh my God!
Let the Minister
I think the Minister, you just need to change your attitude a little bit. Senator, honestly,
Senator,
it doesn't fool anyone.
Okay, Senators.
Well, Senator, your approach on these issues is not to listen to the answer because you just want to foment anger.
Okay.
And that is what you do.
Well, that is a horrific accusation which you just make out of thin air.
Order, Senators, please.
You asked me about the relationship with Israel.
Yes.
There is no doubt that this has been one of the most challenging times in the history of our relationship. No doubt. Australia is strongly opposed to many of the actions of the Netanyahu government, and we have been clear about that opposition. And you might recall, Senator, Mr Netanyahu and some of his colleagues have had plenty to say about our government and about Australia. In addition to the many concerns we've raised about Gaza and about the West Bank, we've seen a lack of progress into investigations, including the deaths of Zomi Francom and the World Central Kitchen colleagues, the refusal to allow Australian diplomats from doing their work in Palestine, the damage to veterans' war graves and the alleged mistreatment of Australian citizens, the very serious allegations which have been discussed today. Now, this is a pattern of behaviour which makes it difficult unless the pattern of behaviour changes, it is very difficult to see the relationship changing.
Minister, I have questions about the horrific treatment of the 11 brave Australian humanitarians aboard the Global Sumud Flotilla who were kidnapped.
Sorry, we've done this.
I want to ask some more questions.
But your colleague has asked all these questions.
Sorry, you are here to answer our questions, Minister. I want to ask some more questions.
No, please don't shout at me. All I'm saying for the committee is that Senator Shoebridge has already gone through this in detail.
I want some more questions.
So you want to do it too?
I want to ask some more questions.
I'm just understanding with the Greens Party. I'm happy for us to redo it, but we have just spent, I don't know, was it 20 minutes, Senator Shoebridge, on this? So I'm just wondering why we're getting the same questions from another Greens senator. I think it was quite a long time, actually, but that's fine. If you want to, we'll do it again.
Questions. We act collectively.
Well, including both. Okay, that's fine.
Correct.
We work together, Minister. So I do want to ask you questions about the horrific treatment. And I want to actually lay on the table, because there was a lot of hesitation in actually naming what the treatment was. So one of these flotilla participants, Juliet Lamont, has said she was sexually assaulted and beaten, cable-tied, and had so much water thrown in her face that at one point she thought she was going to drown. She says they wrenched my trousers and underwear down, and I was raped by one of the soldiers. My daughter was syringed with an unknown substance. Other people had guns inserted inside them. Niamh O'Connor, another one of these brave humanitarians, has said she was abused, physically beaten, and sexually humiliated. She says, I had my hands pinned behind my back while being repeatedly kneed in the spine, kneed in the thighs. And Violet Coco has told us that she was held at gunpoint, stripped of her clothes, and pushed into a shipping container where she was beaten, kicked, and sexually assaulted before being thrown into a prison yard. Minister, do you believe these women?
Well, my principal position is to always believe women when allegations of sexual assault are made.
So you believe these women?
Hang on, please don't interrupt, Senator. I have an answer. I also want to say publicly, now you've chosen to disclose that information publicly. I assume that is something you have consent for.
This is public information,
Senator,
which you
can I finish?
obviously haven't seen.
Senator, yes, it's one thing for it to be reported, it is another thing to use it in a Senate estimates in this way, so I'm assuming you have consent for that. Now, if I can respond to those allegations are terrible, they are horrific, and the treatment is unacceptable, and I express my empathy to those women to whom that was done. As I outlined to your colleague Senator Shoebridge, we have made our representations to Israel at Foreign Minister level and at diplomat level in relation both to treatment and in relation to Israel's refusal to grant consular access in accordance with its international obligations. And I went through with your colleague and also with, I think, Senator Pocock, the nature of our representations. In relation to, I feel it's obviously very distressing. I feel a difficulty in responding to specific private details in a public forum like this, and I think it's not the way in which I would like the discussion of these awful events to be conducted.
Minister, I asked a straightforward question. Do you believe these women? You haven't given me an answer to that.
That's not true. Please don't say that. That's not true. Please don't say that.
And what you have done is ask Israel,
Senator Faruqi, please don't...
the criminals to investigate their own crimes. This is what you are doing.
No,
so don't try and turn the tables on me.
Excuse me,
I'm
as a
used to your
feminist,
tactics.
I really...
I'm sorry. This is ludicrous.
Order.
Ludicrous.
Senator
You are
Faruqi.
the Minister of Foreign Affairs. You need to give
Senators,
straight answers.
enough.
You need to...
It's lunchtime and we're breaking. You want to finish?
I'm not going to let that stand.
Yeah, well,
I said,
question.
excuse me, I have said to you very clearly, and I think anyone...
That you believe these women? Yes.
Excuse me.
Senator
I
Faruqi.
said very clearly, including, and I think if you look at my career, my view is that you should believe, and I believe, women who come forward with these assertions.
But then you shouldn't let the perpetrators of these heinous crimes investigate themselves.
That is, and please do not make assertions that are false about what I have said and what I do and what I believe. And I know you always
You have done nothing to support these women or others who have
we're
been
suspended for lunch.
I just want to circle back to the Global Flotilla participants. Just a couple of questions there. Minister, you might be aware that Malaysia is preparing to take legal action against Israel in the International Court of Justice over the reported abuse of the flotilla activists. Will you give consideration to joining that action if it happens, so that we can get some accountability and justice for the violence and the sexual abuse and assault that Australians have faced?
Well, you raised this previously, Senator, and as I said to you, I assume you had consent to raise all of those private details. I want to say a few things about this. First, I have now received a request to meet, which my office received shortly before the press conference today. My office is engaging with the individuals directly on that request.
So you are meeting them?
No, I said my office is engaging directly with the individuals, not with you, on that request.
I'm not asking about myself. I'm just asking, are you going to meet them?
Can I just finish my answer, please? My view is that, as I said to you before, that women should be believed, and these allegations, which are confronting and distressing, should be dealt with respectfully and seriously, and that is what we will do. I don't intend in this forum to go to these issues any further for the reasons I would hope you would understand.
Minister, you do know that the 11 people that were on the flotilla, including the women who are here and who were abused, want to publicly discuss these issues because they have been very public about them. So, you know, like I said before, that's talking about them privately. They have not been talking about them privately. They have been publicly talking about them, have had the courage to publicly talk about them because they want everyone to hear what has happened and that your government has taken no action. So you're not going to answer any questions that I ask you about this topic? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that we will deal with these very confronting and distressing allegations respectfully and seriously.